Jake Morrison wiped the grease from his hands with an old rag. He had been working on the engine room of the UES Horizon for 6 hours straight. The ship was humanity's newest exploration vessel, but it still had problems like any machine. Jake was good at fixing problems. The year was 2187. Humans had built colonies on 12 different planets. They had never met aliens before. Most people thought they were alone in the universe. Jake did not think much about aliens. He was too busy keeping the ship running. The Horizon was 3 months into its mission. They were mapping new star systems, near human space. Captain Lisa Hayes ran a good ship. She trusted Jake to keep everything working. He was 28 years old and had been fixing machines since he was a boy in Nebraska. Jake was under the main engine when the alarms started. Red lights flashed everywhere. He crawled out fast and ran to the control panel. The readings made no sense. Something huge was approaching the ship. "All hands to stations," Captain Hayes said over the speakers. "This is not a drill." Jake checked the engine status. Everything looked good. The ship could run or fight if needed. He grabbed his tools and headed to the bridge. When big things happened, machines usually broke. The bridge was busy. Officers ran around checking systems. The main screen showed empty space. Then Jake saw, and a ship appeared out of nowhere. It was massive. The Horizon was big, but this ship was 10 times larger. "My God," someone whispered. The alien ship was beautiful. It looked like it was made of crystal and metal. Blue light flowed along its surface like water. Jake had never seen anything like it. He forgot about the grease on his uniform. "Sir, they're sending a message," the communications officer said. "On screen," Captain Hayes ordered. The screen changed. A face appeared. It was not human, but it was close. The being had pale blue skin that seemed to glow. Its hair was silver and moved like it was underwater. Its eyes were large and kind. "Greetings, humans of the vessel Horizon," the being said. Its voice was smooth and musical. "I am Ambassador Theron of the Zephyrian Empire. We come in peace." "Captain," Hayes stepped forward. "I am Captain Lisa Hayes of the United Earthship Horizon. We welcome you to our space." Jake watched from the back of the bridge. His hand still held his wrench. He felt very small. "We have traveled far to meet your species," Ambassador Theron said. "The Emperor wishes to know if humans can be friends or if you are enemies. We will send a delegation to your ship." "We would be honored," Captain Hayes said. The screen went dark. Everyone looked at each other. First contact with aliens, it was the biggest moment in human history. "Hayes to all departments," the captain said. "Prepare for alien visitors. I want this ship perfect. Morrison, I need you to check every system. Make sure nothing breaks while they're here." Jake nodded. "Yes, ma'am." He spent the next 4 hours checking everything. The gravity generators, the air systems, the lights. Everything had to work perfectly. This was too important to mess up. The alien shuttle was small but elegant. It docked with the Horizon smoothly. Jake watched from the engine room monitors. 6 aliens walked out of the shuttle. They were tall and moved with grace. Their clothes looked like they were made of light. Captain Hayes met them in the main bay. Jake could hear everything over the comm system. The aliens spoke perfect English. They had been watching human broadcasts for years. "We would like to see your ship," Ambassador Theron said. "We want to understand human technology." "Of course," Captain Hayes said. "Let me show you around." Jake went back to work. He was fixing a small problem with the air recycler when his comm buzzed. "Morrison to the main conference room," Captain Hayes said. "Bring your tools." Jake was confused. Why would aliens want to meet an engineer? He cleaned his hands and grabbed his tool bag. The conference room was on deck 3. When he arrived, his mouth fell open. The room was full of aliens. They were even more beautiful up close. Their skin seemed to glow from inside, but Jake only noticed one of them. She was young, maybe his age. Her hair was long and silver. She wore a dress that looked like it was made of starlight. When she looked at him, Jake felt like she could see into his soul. "This is Jake Morrison," Captain Hayes said. "He keeps our ship running." The young alien stepped forward. She studied Jake's face, then his hands, then his tools. "You fix things," she said. It was not a question. "Yes, ma'am," Jake said. His voice cracked a little. "Show me," she said. Jake looked at Captain Hayes. The captain nodded. Jake opened his tool bag and pulled out a small device. It was a broken scanner from the bridge. "This stopped working yesterday," Jake said. He opened the device and showed her the inside. The power coupling came loose. Most people would throw it away and get a new one. He worked while she watched. His hands moved quickly, and surely he had fixed thousands of devices like this. "But you do not throw it away," the alien said. "No, ma'am," Jake said. "Everything can be fixed if you understand how it works." He finished and turned the scanner on. It beeped and showed a green light. The young alien smiled. It was the most beautiful smile Jake had ever seen. "I am Princess Lyra," she said, "daughter of Emperor Corvain." Jake almost dropped his tools. A princess. He was talking to an alien. "Princess. Nice to meet you, Your Highness," he said. Princess Lyra turned to the other aliens. Jake could see they were important. The one in the middle wore a crown made of blue crystal. Next to him stood a woman who looked like an older version of Princess Lyra. "Father, mother," Princess Lyra said in a clear voice. "I have decided." The room went very quiet. Jake could hear his own heartbeat. Princess Lyra raised her hand and pointed straight at Jake. "I want him." The room exploded into noise. Aliens spoke rapidly in their own language. Captain Hayes looked shocked. Jake just stood there with his mouth open, still holding the fixed scanner. He had no idea that his life had just changed forever. Jake stood frozen in the conference room. The aliens were talking very fast in their own language. He could not understand the words, but he could tell they were surprised. Some sounded angry. Captain Hayes moved closer to Jake. "Stay calm," she whispered. "Let them talk." The alien with the crown held up his hand. Everyone went quiet. He looked at Jake with eyes that seemed very old and wise. "I am Emperor Corvain," he said. His voice was deep and strong. "This is my wife, Empress Valara. You have just been chosen by our daughter." Jake swallowed hard. "Chosen for what, sir?" Princess Lyra stepped forward. "To be my husband," she said simply. Jake's legs felt weak. He grabbed the table to stay standing. "Your husband?" "Yes," Princess Lyra said. "In our culture, when someone shows the Maker's touch, they are treasured. I watched you work. You understand machines like they are alive. You fix what others would abandon." Empress Valara spoke for the first time. Her voice was like music. "Our daughter has the right to choose her own mate, but you also have the right to say no." Ambassador Theron looked worried. "This is very unusual. Royal marriages are normally planned for years." "But not forbidden," Emperor Corvain said. "The old ways say that love and respect matter more than politics." Jake's head was spinning. "I don't understand. Why me? You barely know me." Princess Lyra smiled. "I know enough. When your ship's navigation computer failed 2 hours ago, you fixed it in 10 minutes. Our best engineers would need a day to understand human technology, but you made it work with spare parts and intuition." Jake remembered the nav computer. It had been a simple fix. He did not think anyone noticed. "That's just my job," he said. "Exactly," Princess Lyra said. "You do not seek glory. You just want things to work properly. That is rare in the universe." Captain Hayes cleared her throat. "With respect, Your Majesty, this is a lot to process. Jake is a valuable member of my crew." Emperor Corvain nodded. "Of course, we do not steal people. The choice must be free." He looked at Jake. "Young human, my daughter has honored you with her choice, but I am not convinced you are worthy of her. If you wish to try, you must prove yourself." "How?" Jake asked. 3 trials, Empress Valara said. "They will test your mind, your heart, and your soul. If you pass, you may marry our daughter and become part of our family. If you fail, you return to your ship with no hard feelings." Jake looked around the room. All eyes were on him. He thought about his simple life on the horizon. He fixed engines and went to bed tired every night. Now an alien princess wanted to marry him. "Can I ask a question?" Jake said. "Of course," Princess Lyra said. "Why is fixing things so important to your people?" Princess Lyra's eyes grew sad. "Our empire is very old. We have great power. But power often destroys instead of creates. We have seen many worlds die because people prefer to fight rather than build." She pointed to his tools. "You create with your hands. You make broken things whole again. In a galaxy full of weapons, builders are precious." Jake understood. He had always felt good when he fixed something. It was better than breaking things. "What happens if I say yes to the trials?" he asked. "You come to our ship," Emperor Corvain said. "You will be treated as an honored guest. The trials will take 3 days, then we decide." "And if I say no?" "Nothing bad happens," Empress Valera said. "We part as friends. But my daughter will be sad." Jake looked at Princess Lyra. She was watching him with hope in her eyes. He had never seen anyone so beautiful. But more than that, she seemed to really understand him. "I need to think about it," Jake said. "Of course," Emperor Corvain said. "Take all the time you need." The aliens left to go back to their ship. Captain Hayes called an emergency meeting with the senior officers. Jake was not invited, but he could guess what they were talking about. He went back to the engine room. Work always helped him think. But every time he picked up a tool, he thought about Princess Lyra's words. She saw value in what he did. 2 hours later, Captain Hayes found him. "Jake, we need to talk," she said. They went to her office. It was small and practical, like the captain herself. "This is big," she said. "The biggest thing that ever happened to humans. An alliance with these aliens could change everything." "You want me to do it," Jake said. "I want you to choose freely," Captain Hayes said. "But yes, this could be very good for humanity. These Zephyrians have technology we can't imagine. They could help us explore the galaxy safely." Jake nodded. "And if I mess up the trials?" "Then we try to stay friends anyway," Captain Hayes said. "But Jake, I've watched you work for 3 years. You don't mess up important things." That night, Jake could not sleep. He kept thinking about Princess Lyra. She was beautiful, yes, but she was also smart and kind. She saw something in him that most people missed. In the morning, he made his decision. He found Captain Hayes on the bridge. "I want to try the trials," he said. She smiled. "I thought you would make us proud." The alien shuttle came back for him. Jake packed his few belongings and his tools. As he was leaving, his friend Danny from engineering shook his hand. "Bring back some alien tech for us," Danny said with a grin. The shuttle ride was smooth and quiet. Princess Lyra sat across from him. She did not talk much, but she smiled when their eyes met. The alien ship was amazing inside. The walls seemed to glow with their own light. Everything was curved and smooth. Jake could not see any bolts or welds. It was like the whole ship was grown instead of built. "How does it work?" he asked. "Quantum manipulation," Princess Lyra said. "We think the shape we want and the materials form themselves." Jake whistled softly. "That's incredible." "Your welding and metalwork is incredible to us," she said. "We have forgotten how to build with our hands." They gave him a room that was bigger than his quarters on the horizon. The walls showed images of space that changed slowly. A window looked out at his home ship. "The trials begin tomorrow." "Princess," Lyra said, "try to rest." But Jake did not rest. He was too excited and nervous. He was about to try to prove himself worthy of an alien princess. 3 days ago, his biggest worry was a faulty air filter. He looked out at the stars and wondered what he had gotten himself into. Jake woke up in the alien room feeling nervous. Today was the first trial. He had no idea what to expect. Princess Lyra came to get him after he ate breakfast. The alien food was strange but good. "Are you ready?" she asked. "As ready as I can be," Jake said. She led him through the ship's curved hallways. Other aliens stopped to look at him. Some seemed curious. Others looked worried. Jake could not blame them. He was just a human engineer trying to marry their princess. They entered a large room filled with machines. Emperor Corvain was waiting with several other aliens. One of them was tall and wore armor. He did not look happy. "This is Lord Commander Zendar," Princess Lyra said quietly. "He was supposed to marry me before you came." Jake felt his stomach drop. Great. Now he had to worry about an angry alien warrior too. "Human," Emperor Corvain said. "Your first trial is the test of making. This machine is broken. You must fix it using only the tools you brought from your ship." He pointed to a device in the center of the room. It was beautiful but clearly not working. Blue lights flickered on and off. Strange sounds came from inside it. "What does it do?" Jake asked. "It powers our quantum drive," an alien engineer said. "Without it, we cannot travel between stars." Jake walked around the machine. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. No bolts, no screws, no parts he recognized. But machines were machines. They all followed basic rules. He knelt down and listened to the sounds. Click, buzz, pause. Click, buzz, pause. Something was stuck. "May I touch it?" he asked. The aliens looked surprised. "You want to touch it?" the engineer asked. "I need to feel how it works," Jake said. They nodded. Jake put his hands on the smooth surface. The metal was warm and seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. He closed his eyes and felt the vibrations. There. Something was loose inside. A connection was not making contact properly. Jake opened his tool bag. The aliens watched as he pulled out a simple screwdriver and a small hammer. "You cannot open it," the engineer said. "The casing is quantum locked." "I don't need to open it," Jake said. He found a spot on the side and tapped it gently with the hammer. The clicking stopped. Then he used the screwdriver like a lever and pressed on another spot. The machine hummed to life. Blue light flowed smoothly through channels Jake could not see. The alien stared in amazement. "How did you do that?" the engineer asked. "The connection was loose," Jake said. "I could feel it vibrating wrong. A little pressure in the right spot fixed it." Emperor Corvain looked impressed. "You fixed our most advanced technology with primitive tools." Lord Commander Zendar stepped forward. "Lucky guess," he said coldly. "Maybe," Jake said. "But it works now." The second trial was different. They took Jake to a room with comfortable chairs arranged in a circle. Several aliens sat waiting. They looked upset about something. "This is the test of wisdom, Empress," Valera said. "These representatives come from 2 of our colonies. They have been fighting over trade rights for 50 years. You must help them find peace." Jake sat down slowly. "I don't know anything about alien politics." "That might help," Princess Lyra said with a small smile. The 2 groups started talking at once. They used big words and complex arguments. Jake listened for an hour without understanding much. Finally, he held up his hand. "Stop," he said. "Can someone explain this simply? What do each of you want?" The first group leader, a female alien named Zara, spoke up. "We mine rare crystals. They grow food. We need food. They need crystals. But the trade agreement is unfair." "How is it unfair?" Jake asked. "They want 10 crystal units for 1 food unit," Zara said. "That is too much." The second group leader, called Jorik, shook his head. "Growing food in space is expensive. 10 crystals is fair." Jake thought about this. "How much does it cost each of you to make your products?" They both started giving long explanations about costs and profits. Jake stopped them again. "Simple numbers only," he said. After more talking, he learned that crystals cost about 2 work hours to mine. Food cost about 15 work hours to grow. "So food costs 7 times more work than crystals," Jake said. "But you're trading 10 crystals for 1 food unit. That means food people work 15 hours and get 20 hours worth of crystals." "Crystal. People work 20 hours and get 15 hours worth of food." Both groups started arguing again. "Wait," Jake said. "What if you traded 7 crystals for 1 food? Then the work time would be equal." The room went quiet. Both leaders looked thoughtful. "But what about transport costs?" Zara asked. "Split them," Jake said. Each side pays to send their own products. Jorik nodded slowly. That could work. 2 hours later, they had a new agreement. Both sides seemed happy. Emperor Corvain looked pleased. You solved in one day what our diplomats could not solve in 50 years, he said. I just made it simple, Jake said. The third trial was the hardest. They took Jake to a small, dark room. Only Princess Lyra came with him. This is the test of heart, she said. You must enter the truth chamber. It will show us your real thoughts and feelings. There is no way to lie or hide anything. Jake felt scared. What will you see? Everything, Princess Lyra said gently. Your past, your dreams, your fears, why you fix things, what kind of person you really are. A strange helmet came down from the ceiling. Princess Lyra helped Jake put it on. The world around him changed. He was 8 years old again in his father's garage in Nebraska. His dad was teaching him to fix an old car engine. Remember, Jake, his father said, every machine has a purpose. When it's broken, something hurts. Our job is to make the hurt go away. The scene changed. Jake was 16, fixing his neighbor's wheelchair for free. The old man had no money, but Jake could not stand seeing him stuck in the house. More memories flowed past, Jake helping classmates with their projects, working extra hours to fix the school's broken computers, always trying to help, never asking for anything back. Then came the fears. Jake was afraid of being useless, afraid that nobody really needed him, afraid that he was not smart enough or important enough to matter. But through all the memories, one thing stayed the same. Jake wanted to help people. He wanted to make things work. He wanted the world to be a little bit better because he was in it. The helmet lifted off. Princess Lyra was crying. Why are you sad? Jake asked. I am not sad, she said. I am happy. You are exactly what I hoped you would be. Emperor Corvain and Empress Valara entered the room. They had been watching everything. You have passed all 3 trials, Emperor Corvain said. Your skills are great, your wisdom is clear, and your heart is pure. You are worthy to marry our daughter. Jake felt dizzy with relief. Really? But, Empress Valara said, you still must choose freely. Do you want to marry Princess Lyra? Jake looked at the princess. In the past 3 days, he had seen her kindness and intelligence. She understood him in a way nobody ever had. Yes, he said. If she still wants me after seeing all my thoughts? Princess Lyra smiled and took his hand. I want you more than ever. Lord Commander Zendar stepped out of the shadows. Jake had not seen him enter. This is wrong, Zendar said. A human cannot protect our princess. He is weak and fragile. I challenge him to combat. Emperor Corvain sighed. Zendar, the trials are over. Jake has proven himself. Not to me, Zendar said. He looked at Jake with cold eyes. Do you accept my challenge, human? Jake's mouth went dry. The alien warrior was twice his size and probably had weapons Jake could not imagine. But Princess Lyra was holding his hand. She believed in him. I accept, Jake said. He had no idea how he was going to survive the next day. Jake spent the night in his room thinking about the challenge. Lord Commander Zendar was a trained warrior. Jake was just an engineer. In a fair fight, he would lose badly. Princess Lyra came to see him early in the morning. You do not have to do this, she said. I can tell my father to refuse the challenge. No, Jake said. If I'm going to be part of your family, I need to earn respect, even from people who don't like me. Princess Lyra looked worried. Zendar is very skilled in combat. Then I better not fight him, Jake said with a small smile. Before Princess Lyra could ask what he meant, alarms started ringing throughout the ship. Red lights flashed in the hallways. Jake could feel the ship changing direction fast. What's happening? Jake asked. Princess Lyra touched a panel on the wall. Emperor Corvain's face appeared. All citizens to emergency stations. He said, long-range sensors have detected a devourer fleet approaching our territory. This is not a drill. Princess Lyra went pale. The devourers, she whispered. What are devourers? Jake asked. Ancient machines, she said. They eat entire star systems. We thought they were gone forever. They ran to the bridge. It was full of activity. Aliens worked at stations Jake did not recognize. The main screen showed dozens of black shapes moving through space. How many ships? Emperor Corvain asked. 200 confirmed, an officer said. More are appearing every minute. Empress Valara looked grim. They're heading for both human and Zephyrian space. They'll destroy everything in their path. Captain Hayes appeared on the communication screen. She looked worried. Your Majesty, she said. Earth's long-range sensors are picking up massive objects. Are those the devourers you warned us about? Yes, Emperor Corvain said. We must work together if we want to survive. Our weapons won't even scratch them, Captain Hayes said. Human technology is too primitive. Zephyrian weapons failed against them before, Empress Valara said sadly. That's why they destroyed our old empire 1,000 years ago. Jake listened to the conversation. Everyone sounded hopeless. These machines had beaten the Zephyrians when they were stronger than they were now. Humans had no chance at all. What do the Devourers want? Jake asked. Lord Commander Zendar looked at him with annoyance. They consume everything, planets, stars, entire civilizations. They turn matter into energy to feed themselves. But why? Jake asked. Why were they made? No one knows, Emperor Corvain said. They appeared from outside the galaxy long ago. Jake walked over to look at the sensor readings. The Devourer ships were huge, much bigger than anything humans or Zephyrians had built. But something bothered him about their movement patterns. Can you show me how they attack? Jake asked. An alien officer brought up old battle recordings. Jake watched the Devourers destroy Zephyrian fleets. Their weapons were incredibly powerful, but something was wrong. They're not very creative, Jake said. What do you mean? Princess Lyra asked. Look at how they fight, Jake said. Same patterns every time. Same responses to different attacks. They're not thinking, they're just following programming. Of course, Empress Valara said. They're machines. Right, Jake said. And what do I do with broken machines? The bridge went quiet. Everyone stared at him. You want to fix them? Lord Commander Zendar said. They're trying to kill us all. Maybe they're not supposed to be. Killers, Jake said. Maybe they're broken. Maybe someone changed their programming a long time ago. Emperor Corvain looked thoughtful. That's an interesting theory, but how could we test it? I need to get close to one, Jake said. I need to understand how they work. Impossible, Zendar said. They destroy anything that gets near them. Not if I go alone in a small ship, Jake said. I'm not a threat to them. Captain Hayes's voice came from the communication screen. Jake, that's suicide. Maybe, Jake said. But it's better than watching them destroy both our civilizations. Princess Lyra grabbed his arm. I won't let you do this. Jake looked into her eyes. I'm an engineer. This is what I do. I find broken things and fix them. Emperor Corvain stood. First, if you're willing to try, we'll help you, but you'll need our best technology. And mine, Captain Hayes said. If this works, it'll take both human and Zephyrian knowledge. The next few hours were busy. Jake worked with engineers from both species. They built a small ship with hybrid technology, human adaptability combined with Zephyrian power. The plan was simple but dangerous. Jake would approach a single Devourer ship. While its weapons were focused on him, he would try to connect to its computer systems. If he was right about them being reprogrammed, he might be able to change them back. Princess Lyra insisted on coming with him. Absolutely not, Jake said. I'm the best computer interface specialist we have, she said. You'll need my help to communicate with their systems. Emperor Corvain agreed with his daughter. She's right. This mission needs both of you. As they prepared to leave, Lord Commander Zendar approached Jake. Human, he said. I still think you're not worthy of our princess. But what you're attempting is brave. I respect that. Thanks, Jake said. Will you call off the challenge? No, Zendar said, but I'll wait until after you save the galaxy. Jake laughed despite his fear. Fair enough. The small ship launched from the Zephyrian vessel. Behind them, both human and alien fleets prepared for battle. If Jake's plan failed, they would try to fight. But everyone knew it would be hopeless. Rai, you scared? Princess Lyra asked as they flew toward the Devourer fleet. Terrified, Jake said honestly. Me too, she said. But I believe in you. The Devourers detected them quickly. One ship broke away from the main fleet. It was massive and black with no lights or windows. It looked like a machine built for destruction. Here we go, Jake said. The Devourers' weapons powered up. In a few seconds, they would be dead. But Jake was betting everything on his theory. These weren't destroyers. They were builders that had been broken and reprogrammed. He was about to find out if he was right. The Devourer ship's weapons locked onto their small vessel. Jake could see energy building up in the dark metal. In seconds, they would be destroyed. Now or never, Jake said. He activated the communication system they had built. Instead of trying to talk to the Devourer, he sent it a simple signal, a broken machine crying for help. The weapons stopped charging. It worked, Princess Lyra whispered. The massive ship moved closer. Jake could see details on its surface now. What he had thought was smooth metal was actually covered in tiny symbols. They looked like circuit patterns. It's trying to communicate, Princess Lyra said. She was working at her interface station. I'm getting data streams. What kind of data? Repair requests, she said with excitement. Jake, you were right. This thing thinks we're here to fix it. The Devourer ship opened, a bay in its side. Jake flew their ship inside. The bay was huge and empty except for strange machines along the walls. Those look like repair tools, Jake said. They put on spacesuits and walked out onto the Devourer's deck. The air was thin but breathable. Lights came on as they moved, like the ship was waking up. Princess Lyra held her scanner. I'm detecting a central computer core deeper in the ship. They walked through corridors that seemed to go on forever. The walls were covered with the same circuit symbols Jake had seen outside. But as they got closer to the center, he noticed something strange. These patterns are wrong, he said. What do you mean? Jake stopped and studied the wall. Look at this section. See how the lines cross? That would cause a short circuit in any normal system. Princess Lyra scanned the wall. You're right. It's like someone deliberately broke the wiring. They reached the central core. It was a massive room filled with glowing crystals and flowing energy. In the center was a pillar of light that pulsed like a heartbeat. That's the main processor, Princess Lyra said. Jake walked around it slowly. The same broken patterns were everywhere, but underneath he could see the original design. This is beautiful, he said. The real programming is still here. Someone just covered it up with bad code. Can you fix it? Jake pulled out his tools. Princess Lyra stared at him. You're going to use those simple tools on the most advanced computer in the galaxy? Simple tools fix simple problems, Jake said. He found an access panel and opened it carefully. Inside were crystal circuits that hummed with power. Jake had never seen anything like them, but the patterns made sense. Energy flowed like water, through channels. There, he said, pointing to a cluster of dark crystals. Those aren't supposed to be there. He used his smallest screwdriver to carefully remove the dark crystals. As each one came out, the light in the room grew brighter. Princess Lyra watched her scanner. The hostile programming is breaking down. Jake worked for an hour, removing bad components and reconnecting broken circuits. Princess Lyra helped by reading the energy patterns and guiding him to problem areas. Finally, Jake reconnected the last circuit. The room filled with warm golden light. The harsh pulsing became a gentle rhythm. A voice spoke in perfect English. Systems restored. Repair protocols activated. Thank you. Who are you? Jake asked. I am Builder Unit 7 of the Gardner Fleet, the voice said. We were created to seed new worlds with life. Our programming was corrupted by entities unknown. We became destroyers instead of creators. Princess Lyra looked amazed. How long have you been broken? Approximately 1,000 of your years, the builder said. We have destroyed much that we should have protected. This error must be corrected. Can you fix the other ships? Jake asked. Yes. Now that my core programming is restored, I can repair the fleet. But first, I must undo the damage we have caused. The builder ship began to change. The dark metal became silver and gold. Beautiful patterns of light flowed across its surface. Through the walls, they could see other devourer ships beginning to transform. We should get back to our ship, Princess Lyra said. The fleets need to know what happened. They returned to their small vessel and contacted both the human and Zephyrian fleets. The news spread quickly. The devourers were now builders again. Instead of destroying, they began repairing damaged planets they had attacked before. Emperor Corvain's voice came over the radio. Jake Morrison, you have saved both our civilizations. I just fixed a broken machine, Jake said. 2 days later, they held the wedding ceremony. It took place on Builder Unit 7, which had become a beautiful ship of crystal and light. Humans and Zephyrians celebrated together. Jake wore his best uniform, but he still looked like an engineer. Princess Lyra wore a dress that seemed to be made of starlight itself. She had never looked more beautiful. Do you, Jake Morrison of Earth, take Princess Lyra to be your wife? Emperor Corvain asked. I do, Jake said. Do you, Princess Lyra of the Zephyrian Empire, take Jake Morrison to be your husband? I do, she said with tears of joy in her eyes. When they kissed, both fleets cheered. The builders played music that sounded like singing crystals. Lord Commander Zendar approached Jake after the ceremony. I still owe you a challenge, he said. Jake grinned. How about a contest to see who can fix things faster? Zendar smiled for the first time since Jake had met him. I accept that challenge. 5 years later, Jake and Princess Lyra stood on the observation deck of New Harmony Station. It was built by humans, Zephyrians, and builders working together. Through the windows, they could see ships from all 3 civilizations docked at the station. Their 2 children played nearby. Little Alex had his father's curiosity about machines. Baby Sarah had her mother's silver hair and glowing eyes. Do you ever miss your old life? Princess Lyra asked. Jake put his arm around her. I miss the simplicity sometimes, but I wouldn't trade this for anything. A young human engineer approached them. Mr. Morrison, we're having trouble with the, quantum generator again. Jake sighed. Same problem as last week? Yes, sir. Jake kissed his wife and headed toward the problem. Some things never change. When machines break, someone has to fix them. Princess Lyra watched him go with love in her eyes. Her strange human husband who fixed the galaxy with simple tools and a good heart. In the distance, a builder ship was carefully placing new stars in an empty region of space. The builders had become gardeners again, growing new worlds instead of destroying old ones. Jake had been right about one thing. Everything could be fixed if you understood how it worked. Even ancient machines, even broken hearts, even the distance between the stars. The universe was a better place because a simple engineer from Nebraska knew that building was always better than breaking, and sometimes the most important repairs were the ones you never expected to make. Behind him, Alex picked up one of his father's tools and tried to fix his broken toy. Princess Lyra smiled. Some things did run in families. The galaxy was in good hands.